guys, so if you clicked on this video, I assume you're about to move to Copenhagen, or you plan to move here, or you already applied for study, hope you get in and can live in Copenhagen soon, / Denmark. It is more focused on Copenhagen because I have been living here the past 4 years, but some things are more general for Denmark as well, and I have been living 1 year in southern Denmark before I moved to Copenhagen as well. Anyway, so to get things started, what I want to talk about today is it really expensive to live in Denmark / Copenhagen? What should I consider when I move here or before I move here? And how to find a room, because that seems to be crazy difficult, and it is. It's like Hunger Games. First things first, it is expensive to live in Denmark. It is. I grew up in Germany, I lived in France, I lived in Australia and Asia and Denmark. And I have to say that after Australia, Denmark is the most expensive place to live, because the living cost here is pretty high for what you get. So I'm gonna make a budget, and from that you can have an idea how much you should actually calculate in every month. So I work and I study and I live a normal, healthy-ish life. That being said, I spend around 8,000 to 10,000 crowns each month, which is 1,100 euros to 1,300 euros each month just on food, accommodation, maybe transportation, gym, phone, and every now and then like small purchases. Like it's not something huge. Maybe going out for a drinks or brunch or something once a month. I think for food monthly you can say 200 to 300 euros, which is 1,400, 500 to 2,000 crowns. It can get more expensive maybe if you eat more than I do, but that's based on my lifestyle right now. And then you have a phone subscription, of course, because you want to have internet, you want to stay connected, you want to call friends. And my subscription right now is around, I actually have no idea, to 150 crowns, just a subscription. I'm paying off a phone as well on top. Plus a gym membership, that's another 200-ish. Depends on what package you take, if you join courses. Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym, you want to go to yoga, that's more expensive. Oh, that comes on top. If you don't want to bike, monthly 2-zone card, which is like a transportation within 2 zones of Copenhagen, and that's another 350 crowns, or around 40 to 50 euros, I think, for 1 month. And there is no student discount. If you live further away, there is like a student card with all the zones, which is still 600 crowns, 80 euros. So transportation is expensive. In summer, just bike. That's about like those kind of things. Then accommodation. I must say I kind of lucky because I only pay around 4,000 crowns for my room, plus all the costs like internet and heating and electricity. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so that kind of adds up to around 8,000 minimum, and 10,000 crowns when I don't know, spoil myself a bit, go out, meet friends, go out to eat a couple of times, or if I just want to go back to Germany and see my family, because that's included as well. So that's the budget you should have in mind if you move to Denmark, to Copenhagen. Although, and now I'm going to the next topic, finding an apartment in Copenhagen and what should you pay. So there are several things you should consider. If you move in summer, if you come around August, September, it's gonna be hella difficult to find a place, because everyone is moving here, everyone's gonna start a semester, of course. And no matter what room people put up and what price, they're gonna get rid of it because people are desperate. So a normal price for a room, like I'm saying normal, but like a price for a room within, but in those like Nørrebro, Østbro, Vesterbro, Frederiksberg, which is all around my university, around Copenhagen Business School, 4,000 to 5,000. 5,000 500 max crowns is what you should pay for a room. I know there are, like, I just heard yesterday from my friend, she's paying 6,000 crowns for her room, which is 800 euros. And her room was, I think it was like 15 square meters. And it's hella expensive, and you shouldn't pay that much. I know it's, you might, if you have the budget, yeah, sure, go ahead, if you don't save yourself the stress. But if you see a room that expensive in that area I just mentioned, try to find something else. Because now I'm living in Frederiksberg, and I can bike to university, to one of the campuses in 7 minutes, and I'm living close to university. There are supermarkets by, I live right next to the station. It's a good location. And there are some places like Vanløs, Valby, and the other direction, Amager. You should actually pay less because you're further outside, but I've seen and heard friends paying way more than I pay now for being way further away from the inner city. So what I can recommend you is just to keep around 4,000 to 5,000. That's the normal thing you should pay for one room, between 10 to 15 square meters. Not more, don't pay more. Like, if there's more, maybe try to take it for the first 2 months you're here until you settle down and then move, because 7,000 crowns, which is like 8 to 1,000 euros for a room, is crazy. You shouldn't pay that. Like, areas where it's quite cheaper to live is Nordvest. That's the one I'm, Nordvest, or around Bispebjerg. That should be less than 4,000. I know people will put it up for more. I know they will get it rid for more. I just recommend you, if you can avoid it, if you can wait, don't take those rooms. Another thing you shouldn't do is don't take a room without CPR registration. I'm gonna drop some links and a PDF explaining more and more detailed what all these things are, like how to avoid scammers, what is CPR, what is registration, and all the areas I just mentioned where you should look for an apartment. But back to CPR. CPR is pretty much your registration here. It's your identity. And some very low-key, gray zone, sketchy landlords do not want tenants to register for CPR under that address, because it's simply tax fraud if you call it out. So if you find a room where they say registration is not possible or no CPR possible, just don't. Like, even if you end up living in a hostel for a month, it's still better than going there, because you have no rights. Like, if you pay deposit, you want it back, it's gonna be complicated as a tenant. So just keep away from the CPR, no CPR registration. And without CPR, you can't do anything. You can't sign up for a SIM card, or SIM card prescription, like the monthly one. You can get a burner SIM card. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, I'm talking like I'm Jason Bourne. A burner phone. No, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean. You want to sign up for internet, for a phone subscription, or for a gym, you probably need you need to be insured, and that's why you need a CPR as well. So how do you find a room? Like, I'm talking about rooms and options, and you're sitting there being all desperate, like, girl, I don't even freaking know how to find a room. So finding a room in Copenhagen, it's like Hunger Games. Go in a battlefield, there's a dozen and 1,000 other people applying for the same and texting the same person that has a room available, and you die within the crowds. Kinda. It is nerve-wracking, it is frustrating, and I got legit really mad every time I have to find an apartment, because it just seems so senseless. I moved within Copenhagen, I moved 4 times. 2 of these, it was during high season, so it was during August, September, where everyone moved to Copenhagen. And most of the times how I found a room is on Facebook. Live on Facebook. Facebook is everything you need in those days. Zuckerberg's gonna be your new BFF, because he's gonna surveillance it anyway. At least I'm making myself laugh. Now, there's been a lot of Facebook groups. Roommates in Copenhagen, finding rooms in Copenhagen, Copenhagen Business School Connect is where I found my room. So just even experts in Copenhagen. Like, just join all of these groups. I'm having a list down below in my PDF of groups you can join, and some Danish groups I put in there. And then subscribe to them so you get the newest posts. And then for 1, 2, 3 weeks, no matter how long it takes, live on those pages. Live on Facebook. Try to find a room like that. Because I have tried to sign up for some websites and portals and all, where you have to pay like a membership fee and then you get apartments. But I had no luck. Like, I've been living here for years in Copenhagen, and I've moved a couple of times and tried to help friends finding apartments. And most of us, like 90% of us, and 100% for me, I found my room on on Facebook groups. So Facebook groups, maybe join of those websites and portals and whatsoever. I personally did not make experiences. But I heard that some friends put themselves like in a group, like 3-4 people, and then they found like apartments on those websites and then moved in together. But you have to consider, if you find 2-3 friends and be like, okay, I'm looking for an apartment instead of a room, you have to consider that there is 3 months deposit. You have to consider that you have to furnish the entire place and all these kind of things. So if you want to do that, maybe you should sign up for the website and get those memberships. But for me, it wasn't a thing. And then that's going to be the most annoying part. Think of any person you know that is connected to Denmark/Copenhagen. Anyone. If you just met them in a hostel, whatever, text them. Like, contacts bring you further in the way that if you get the word out there and you ask people to ask people to ask people, there's a high chance that someone knows someone who knows someone who's looking for a roommate, or who's about to move out and is looking for one to take the room. So just be that annoying person. Until I found this apartment, I posted 2 or 3 times in a week on my Instagram stories, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere, I think even LinkedIn, that I'm looking for a room. And I found this because one of my classmates remembered, like, oh, Tuni needs a room. And then she tagged me under this post as first one. And I reacted very fastly and texted my now roommate. And she was so kind to choose me to live with her. So that's how I got this room. And it all happened in 2 weeks. So I annoyed people, I keep popping up. And I know, and I'm sorry that I was so pushy, but I just wanted to move. That's about it. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions, drop them below. Write me on my social media, email, post. Don't write me post because I'm not going to put my address out here. Just let me know. I'm dropping the link for some articles related to this, like CPR and how I found a room, and maybe some more private related things like how my life here in Copenhagen is below. Also, I'm gonna post a PDF with like a kind of checklist so you can go through the Facebook groups that I just mentioned, or the areas, or you have in mind again, because there was a lot of numbers, what my budget was and what you should keep in mind and what price is fine and what not. So I hope this was very helpful, or at least I hope it was a bit helpful and you didn't waste 10-20 minutes of your life. And if there's anything you want to ask me, just don't hesitate and ask me. Good luck, guys.